Hey guys, welcome to this week's show. With me this week, again, I have GM of Team Rocket, Kyle, Rainy,
Holder of the Great Caucasaurus.
the Great Cognosaurus. He's become really fond of it
I
over
am.
the last few months. He doesn't want to give it up, but it looks like he's going to give it up.
Yeah, I'm almost statistically out guaranteed not to get last place. I just need maybe 2 or 3 more weeks to have that statistical guarantee.
There's only one person, we thought it was gonna be a runaway race, and then Derek's like, "Hold my beer and let me see if I can
Yeah,
get to him."
yeah. Derek is giving Braden a chance, but even then,
It's very slim.
very slim, and I think Braden wants to set the all-time worst record.
I want to see that. I don't want to. I want to see him go 0 wins. I don't know. Maybe that'll wake him up. Maybe I have to do a little more in this league to compete. You know.
Definitely.
Some big results last week, though. We'll get right into those. Speaking of Braden and his losing ways, Team Ramrod 8-3-2 now here in third place, taking full advantage of his Braden bye week. 0-12-1 now in 16th. What happened here, Kyle?
It's the Braden bye week, so it's almost a guaranteed win. And with you quietly surging up in the standings and Braden being Braden, this was a foregone conclusion. Um, I'm only upset that you didn't win like 14 or 15 nothing. Like, shame on you.
Goalie stats is where he got his points too,
Oh,
if I'm correct. Though what maybe a shorty, I don't remember. At one point he had goalie stats. I might have taken it in the last day. I don't know. It was
you
like
took a few
9-4.
stats on the last day because like your lead wasn't that big going
It
into
was
Sunday.
9-4.
Yeah, he ended up getting pims and hits on you.
Mm, it's too bad because I like my grind.
Yeah.
But now I'm back into serious business this week. There was a nice break during the holidays. But now it's time for Le Champion to refocus here and go for a back-to-back championship here. Tage, 8-5 in fourth place. Tage against the Machine. Uh, Funny timing as Rage Against the Machine just actually broke up this week for good. Like,
Oh.
too bad. He defeated the fantasy football is over. So Derek tried to clarify that he's focused here, uh, but starting next week maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
3-8-2 now. What happened here?
Well, it looks like Derek's about to go into full sell mode here. And so fantasy football is over. So now he can focus on selling his hockey team, I think. No, Derek had a tough matchup. And I've been saying it, Travis is quietly one of the best teams in the league this year. And his team was on full display this week. Just absolutely dominant numbers across the board. Like his goaltending was phenomenal. And yeah, when Travis is running on you know, uh, running full speed. He's a hard team to beat in this league right now.
It's not often we had the praise Travis here, um, but
We're so used to him selling the second week of the season, so this is weird.
he
This is
did sell though.
I
He did sell. He sold some bigger pieces than he normally would.
yeah,
Sold pretty much his whole keeper base and turned that into more of a solid team, which is clearly working for him.
yeah, absolutely.
Paulie, 6-7. After taking down Captain Crunch, this is a close one. 7-6 matchup. Domo falling. I guess, yeah, falling to 7-6. Could have been eight
Yeah.
and 8-5. What happened here?
This is more of a story of Captain Crunch's goalies just dropping the ball than anything else. Because Sean really didn't put up impressive numbers this week, but you know, uh, he kind of did enough to beat a team that just didn't show up this week. Domo's team just did not show up, and that happens.
Yeah, that's sounds like I don't know. I think he made a trade for Blackwood at the end of the week, and like that's the goal you're going with. You're going with the San Jose goalie. I forget who they were
Yeah.
playing, but it was like a team that could hurt you. Uh, I'd probably
Yeah,
avoid
well,
that.
and like he got edged out just barely in those goalie stats like GAA and save percentage. Like Sean had an 894 save percentage to Domo's 886, and then the GAA was 3.3 to Domo's 3.38. So I'm not too sure if that San Jose goalie really messed up those stats for him, but that might have been the case, and that might have lost him the week. But I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, I don't know how close it would have been before that, but yeah, that's good win. Good big win for Sean. Tough loss for Domo. Yeah, as the standings keep getting tighter in the middle there. Uh,
Yeah,
big win for Sean.
no, for
Ditto,
sure.
Sean. No more momentum. NA goalie paradise taking the loss against Dre. Dre continuing his hold on first place, 9-3-1. 6-7 now for Casey after that loss. What happened here?
Dre does what Dre does best. He put up great stats with player stats. His goaltending didn't show up. Well, like they did okay, but actually Casey had good goaltending this week, which is unusual. His players didn't show up at all. And so Casey got some goaltending points over Dre, which is a rarity. And but wasn't enough because his players didn't show up. And Dre got that 9-4 win. And continues playing like a first place team.
It's good for him because like Vass had like one of the worst games he's had in a long time. He led in like I think six or seven the other night, and he was in for all of them, right? So
Yeah,
get those bad games out now while he's playing guys that he should easily beat anyway.
exactly.
No offense, Casey, but your team just lacks the goaltending. So any goaltender right now, I think he's going to be good in the future though if he holds on to those young goalies. Um, he's going to go through some hard times before he gets there, right? So
Definitely.
Daltrey, 6-7, taking a loss to Patches, 6-7. These guys are tied in points. One's in 12, one's in ninth. That just shows you, right? I think everyone from ninth to what 14th are all tied at 12 points. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a six-way tie for ninth place.
Yeah. And they're only 1 point out of eight.
Yeah.
All six of those teams. It's crazy tight, the standings. What happened here?
What happened here is you have a GM who isn't GMing properly. Um,
Would that
as
shutout have made a difference?
Oh, massive, massive. So, he didn't have his goaltender in for that first game, which was a shutout, which would have been an easy, easy points for Daltrey. But Daltrey did not get all three goalie starts and gave Patches a free 5 points this week.
No.
Yeah, yeah, and that was the difference maker. Like Daltrey
It's
had this week.
embarrassing.
He had this week in the bag. He just needed three goalie starts and he fucked up. So he totally deserved to lose this week, but like really, he gave away a win. He just gave it away. Um, and I mean, I guess his Patch's lucky week. He gets a win. He's in there. He's in ninth place now because Daltrey didn't set up his lineup properly.
This is why you can't have faith in Daltrey. We just that was a huge mistake. There was one game that day.
Yeah, and I think I picked Daltrey to win this week, and he would have won this week had he just set up his lineup.
In case anyone doesn't know, I'm gonna say this. You don't even have to wait till Monday, right? You can go on Sunday and hit set for the week, and it'll set for the next week. Like you're on your phone anyway, usually checking anything. Take you two
Yeah,
minutes, make sure your lineup's set. Like that's if he doesn't make the playoffs and it's by a couple points, you know why. It's this.
yeah. No,
I
this
mean,
this
he's
might
done
be
it in the playoffs, so he doesn't clearly doesn't care.
like he has a team to do well in the playoffs. Like he should be like in the top eight competing. There's no reason for this, but he's not doing what he's supposed to do, and this is the result. Patches gains, Daltrey loses.
Yeah. Oh my God. I did not realize he didn't get his goalie starts.
No, and he had great goalie stats too, and that was without the shutout. Like it was ridiculous. Like I'm just gonna take a look
And what
here.
two starts?
In two starts, he had a 944 save percentage. Imagine what that would have been with the shutout. But he gave 5 points to Patches. Patches did have 4 wins in all fairness and had 185 saves, so he still would have had like he gave away 3 of the 5 points for nothing.
He
It
lost
was a
by
diff-
two.
yeah, he lost by two. So, you know, fuck.
You know? All right. Too bad, Daltrey. Good for you, Patch. Mentally bedarded. 6-7 now, 11th place. Lost in the dumpster fire here. 5-6-2 now in 14th. What happened here?
Um, yeah, Kyle had a great week. Unfortunately, Mark was just a little bit better. Mark had a 958 save percentage, a 1.18 GAA. Kyle had 4 wins, 140 saves. He had a 927 save percentage. That wasn't enough for the point. He had a 2.19 GA. That wasn't enough for the point. He had 11 goals, 20 assists, pretty decent offensive numbers. Didn't get the points there. So this was a really tight matchup between two teams that really competed well, put up numbers that would have won them games against a lot of other teams this week. And, you know, uh, this, this is a good tight game between two teams that are setting their lineups and competing.
Speaking of setting their lineups and starting their goalies, um, like I want to commend Mark. Mark was thinking outside the box. He was wanting this win on Sunday, and he asked me, he's like, "Do I start Veg?" He's like, "Would you start him?" And I'm like, "Well, they're playing Winnipeg, who's one of the top teams in the league. He's letting in at least three. If you want, if that's comfortable with you, then start him. But if not, like if that's gonna ruin your week, like over three, and he let in six, right? So
Yeah, that's right.
this
I don't
Winnipeg
e-
was he was thinking about it, right? He's like he's
yeah.
gonna his mind in there. He's like, should I really actually start this guy? And he didn't, and it saved his week probably. He said the
Oh,
goal
absolutely.
he would have lost a couple stats.
He might have like his stats were so good that even 6 goals might not have affected him, but it's definitely not a chance you want to take. Kyle had great goalie stats this week, and letting six in,
A
that's
lot,
tough.
especially
Just
if
to
it's
go out,
on a little bit of shots, right? You just don't know.
yeah. So like he would have taken the saves, but then he would have definitely lost the save percentage, and he might have lost the GAA.
And
It's
that's
hard to
what he
do.
was worried about. It's exactly what he was worried about. Is it worth it? And I'm like, he's letting in probably three goal. I'm an Arizona fan. You're playing one of the top teams in the league. I know you're letting in at least three.
Yeah, I believe Winnipeg is the top team in the league now.
They were top in the West at least before.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely a smart GM call on Mark's part. Probably helped him get the win because if he's flipping losing 2 stats to flip another stat, that's a 7-6 week for Kyle.
I want to give him some credit though. I don't often give Mark credit, but he was thinking like a real former champion there. So downhill continues his slide, 7-6 now in seventh. After a tough loss against Svechny Drink here, 9-4 in second place. What happened here?
Uh, I mean, Dan had a good week, and Corey's team didn't show up this week. And I find Corey's team is very hot and cold, and this was a cold week for him. So this was an easy win for Dan. I'm sure Dan wasn't sweating at all.
Yeah, like score is pretty lopsided, right? Doesn't always tell the tale of how close it was, but Corey been on a slump. Dan continuing to be on a good run. One had to give this week, and well, they just kept going both in their respective ways.
Yep.
Tough loss, but you see, he's already starting to make some changes here. I think shake it up. So, uh, we got Sorokin, D's nuts, Team Rocket. One at 7-5-1. That's Neil here in fifth place. You're in eighth with a 6-6-1 record. You guys tied. What happened here?
This is a tough battle back and forth all week, and we both had a really great week. Went into Sunday. His chance at victory was overtaking me in assists, and my chance of victory was overtaking him in hits. That's what was in play. And funny enough, we both achieved our goals, which ended up being a moot point. Um, and I got the hits, he got the assists. We're both pretty probably a little bit bummed, but also relieved. It's not a bad thing to tie. We both got a point. This solidified eighth place for me. And it keeps Neil pretty steady in the standings. Um, he was hoping to flip some goalie stats on Saturday, but he had two tough teams he was playing against. He had New York and Vegas for his other goalie for Sorokin, and Sorokin ended up getting lit up. So that kind of helped me. But we both put up some pretty incredible stats this week. Like I got 109 shots on goal, which would have won me that stat against almost anybody else, but it didn't win me that stat against Neil. I had 24 assists, lost that stat. Neil had 4 wins. He lost that stat, would have won against pretty much anybody else this week. So it was a tough week. We both battled hard and came out with a tie, and it's not a bad outcome for either one of us.
No, it's not the best outcome, but it could have been worse. You could have just been 0 points, letting people move right past you, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, you solidified eighth. We'll actually take a look at the standings now, like just to show like that point, right? Team Rocket here in eighth, 13 points. Right under him, six other teams. Yeah, Patches, Polly, Bedarded, Daltrey, Casey, the Dumpster Fire, all at 12 points, like right on your heels. So even that 1 point, like who knows where you would have been placed in that group had you not got that point, right? Um, and guess what?
Yeah.
You're always gonna have the tiebreaker if you have more points.
Well, that's it. Had Daltrey set his lineup, I'd be in ninth right now, but Daltrey didn't set his lineup. So I guess thank you, Daltrey.
He's always looking out for his boys, you
That's
know?
it. I love you, Daltrey.
At the top of the stands, we have Dre sitting there with 19, Svetch with 18 points, myself with 18 points, just have fewer wins, so he has a tiebreaker. Tage at 16, Neil at 15. And you got Domo and Corey tied here with 14 points, and then we get to you, and then everyone in that hunt. Um, of course, we have Braden way at the bottom. The
Yeah,
only
we
one
have
close to him
we
is
have we
Derek.
have Derek who's been dropping off. So,
Yeah,
we think we're assuming he's gonna be selling soon, maybe after
yeah.
this week.
He actually said as much, right? So who knows?
Did he?
Trades. There weren't a lot of trades. A lot of Sunday like ad drop trades. We're not really going into detail with those. But earlier before that, there was an actual trade involving myself and our good friend Tage against the machine here. Um, Tage receiving Sam Bennett and a ninth. You can see that he's day to day. He was not day to day when I traded him. He was healthy and played a game. Um, I received Clayton Keller and a 12th. What are your thoughts on this one, buddy?
Well, you got rid of an injured player unintentionally, so that's a win for you.
Short term win at least. Like
Yeah.
I uh I want a guy who's gonna score goals. And Clayton Keller can do that. And I like his positions better, left wing, right wing, than just center. So it was to me, I was losing a little bit of grit, but I was gaining some offense. So that's what I was looking for, and that's what I went for. This trade, I don't think this was a Sunday move. Oh yeah, it was because Blackwood went back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Was that what happened?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Well, I think he's been dropped already.
he has. But there was another real trade that wasn't an ad drop. It was today. We saw Timo Meyer and a 15th going to Tage for Brossois and a ninth going to Corey. So Travis reacquiring Timo Meyer after giving up on him early. Um, He is injured, by the way, as well right now. So not a bad move for Corey to move on from injured guy who hasn't been really producing. What do you think of it?
I mean, it's a good trade. Corey's getting rid of an injured player. You know, he's getting a ninth rounder. That works for Corey. I'm not too sure why Travis wants Timo back. Maybe that's a bit of an improvement. But like you indicated that this trade happened earlier in the season, and I don't know if there's some sort of clause on this trade that, if the other person didn't want it, they had to trade back. I'm not really.
No, that's not what happened. Apparently, who just Corey wanted to shake it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was talking to him. Travis was like it's low risk for him. Essentially, Corey got a refund. That's what happened essentially.
Yeah.
But he lost out on a couple rounds because I think Travis said it might have been like a 12 or something he got before. But you know what? We have a guy who does this kind of research. Neil, I know you're watching. Um, Statman, we need you. If you want to do the research and correct us on what the actual end game trade was in this whole Meyer back and forth. What was the original trade and what he went back for? I'd be curious to know just the exact details. I mean, I can look it up myself, but Neil's that kind of guy. He loves doing that research. So
Absolutely. And I know Brossois left throwaway player, but I mean he's the backup goaltender for Winnipeg, the best team in the league. Like it's
he
not bad to take him in,
he gets you a start every week.
One
One
once
a
a
week. One a week.
one a week and probably a win in decent numbers.
They ride Hellebuck hard, right? But Brossois gets that one game a week, like just to one keep him fresh and rest
Yeah.
Helle a little.
No, it's not bad to pick up the backup goaltender of the top team in the league.
No, yeah, everything else was ad drop stuff. So we don't need to put too much focus on those ad drop trades.
They happened.
We all know it was all for one round upgrades, all of them. Although there were some that probably made a difference in the weeks. So don't think that we're disregarding them as valuable. It's just not worth discussing every single ad trade in my thought process. But some of them
Yeah.
will make the difference, right? Some are good pickups that you guys are using to get your points through the week, right? So
Yeah. Like for me, for example, it helped me win my hit category. It helped me with a tie. Those ad drops, they're valuable for me this week.
yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to say all the trash, right? No, of course not, guys. Come get your ad drops from me.
Yeah. Open for business.
Open for business. This week, who knows? Who knows? I might have a challenge on my hands, maybe. It depends if you count the history in it all, or if you're just going based on what's actually happening in the league. Um, Team Ramrod, Le Champion, your champion. 8-3-2 here in third place, taking on Paulie the goalie, 6-7 in 10th place, trying to hold on to relevancy. Um, who you got here, Kyle?
I gotta go with history here. I gotta go with Sean. He has made you Sean's bitch for a number of years now, and I kind of enjoy this tradition. I look forward to it every year. So I'm hoping to look forward to it this year. I know what the stats are. I know you're the favorite, but fuck, let's go, Sean.
I'm gonna go with the Champion, of course. As I do every time we play, I'm gonna go in with blind confidence and just say I'm gonna take the Sean. And who knows, he might beat me. I don't think so though. I have Hellebuck now, who I got from him. I'm gonna turn his own players against him in this little rivalry. Um, but yeah, the bet is on. He challenged me openly in the chat earlier today, and I gladly accept. It is tradition. I will not win or lose. I will not go against tradition.
No,
I feel like it's gonna be Shane's bitch this year. Oh, we only have the one matchup, Sean.
gonna make it count.
Tage against the machine, 8-5 in fourth place. Taking on Y'all Try the Beef, 6-7 in 12. Who do you have?
Well, in order to win, you have to set up your lineup, and for that reason alone, I have to go with Travis.
You know Travis is going to set his lineup.
Oh, absolutely. Like I would be calling the police to do a wellness check if his lineup was not set. Like, what's going on, Travis, man? Like something is fucking wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Travis as well. I can't rely on Daltrey, which is exactly why I didn't pick him last week. By the way, you had went 5 for 8, and I went 4 for 8.
Oh, I could have been 6 for 8 had Daltrey set up his lineup, but now my faith in Daltrey is shattered.
That's it. So I'm going with Travis. One, I think he just has a better team. Two, I think he's just going to pay attention and do what he needs to win. Uh, yeah, I don't have a third thing to say. I wanted to, but no, Daltrey, you're not worth my time anymore. Thank you for the 6 pack at the end of the season. Uh, NA goalie paradise. Casey, 6-7 and 13th, taking on the 7-6 downhill, currently sitting in 7th. Corey clearly on a slide here and advertising it. Who you got?
I hesitate to do this, but I'm gonna choose Corey to, reverse his downhill ways. He's gonna put a stop to it this week. He's gonna get that win and maybe get a little bit of confidence.
I kind of think so too. I think he ran into a couple tough opponents, um, and maybe his confidence is a little shaken. Who knows? But I think he should easily get past Casey. Again, Casey has a great forward skater group, but I just don't think his goalies are just too unreliable. You got like Buffalo's rookie goalie and Chicago's goalie. Like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely not a great tandem for Casey.
no. Anyone else almost in the league, and I'd be like, oh, that'd be good. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be an upgrade for you, you know. But I think Corey's going to bounce back this week and get back into the win column.
I agree.
Ray, 9-3-1 in first place, taking on Captain Crunch, 7-6 in sixth place. Who do you got here?
I gotta go with Dre, but I think he's gonna have a tough week. I think Domo's gonna put up a fight. Domo had a bit of a bad week last week, but I expect him to rebound a bit, and expect this to be a close one. But I have to give it to our first place guy, Dre.
Yeah, I think like you said, Domo is going to put in a lot of effort as he does every week, but he's also running out of assets. Um, so I don't think it'll be as easy for him to make those deals this week. Um, but I would have picked Dre even if he could make those. I think Nick's team's just way better. There's a reason he's in first place and near the top of the standings, right? Well, always at the top of the standings, within a few spots. So I say all the time, I think he has one of the best keeper bases. I think he's gonna take care of business this week. Speaking of business, this one could be interesting. Like if there's a team that Braden might have a chance to beat right now. It could be the dumpster fire. Braden, 0-12-1, 16th, taking on the 5-6-2, 14th place dumpster fire. Who you got here?
This is yeah, you gotta go with Mark on this one. GM pays attention. Uh, he's not gonna let Braden get his first week win this week. There's no way.
I would love to see it happen, but then again, I'd kind of be bitter because I want to see Braden just lose everything. So I'm gonna go with Mark. I do think Mark will pay attention. He'll make the moves he needs to. Um, he's just the better team in this matchup. Everyone knows Braden has 1 point. He's clearly not the better team in any matchup. So
No.
yeah, Mark for the win. The dumpster fire will burn. Mentally bedarded. 6-7 in 11th place, taking on Sorokin These Nuts. 7-5-1 in fifth place. Who do you got here?
I'm gonna go with the underdog in this one. I'm gonna go with Kyle. You know, uh, he's not playing too bad, and he has capability of pulling out a win against Neil, and I got a feel for him.
I think there's bitterness there from your last week matchup here, and I'm gonna go with Neil. Um, one, I just think Neil has a better team. His goaltending's better. I know his goaltending's been struggling though, so maybe there's a way in there for Kyle. But his forwards have just been better, and Kyle lost arguably his best player to injury for 4 to 6 weeks on a
Mm,
really clean hit.
yeah.
But yeah, it was like that's gonna hurt his team. It's not the end all. He still has Eichel. He still has Marner. Like he's got guys who are gonna put up points for him, right? But that's a big loss up front, especially when you're going against Pasternak and Panarin, who both been on a tear. So yeah, Neil, I've got you this week. Patrick Rumble, 6-7 in ninth place, taking on Team Rocket, 6-1 in eighth place. Who do you have here?
Well, I gotta cheer myself on here, but I'm not gonna lie, this is a bad matchup for me. So I say that with less confidence. Patches has, in my opinion, better goaltending than me, and goaltending is like a big strength of my team. I feel like he has a slightly better player base than me. Um, and for that reason, it's going to be a really tough week for me. But I'm just going to pick myself because I want to win.
Your arguments against yourself have convinced me. I'm gonna go with Patches. And you know what? This is last week I said your matchup could have went either way, and you fucking tied.
Yeah,
I think again this one easily could go either way. You guys are separated by a point in the standings. It's not like there's an underdog favorite matchup here, but I could see either team going. But I'm just gonna go against you. I think
I
it's
went against you, and that's just fair.
yeah, that is fair.
Yeah.
That's not even why I was doing it. I wasn't even thinking of that. I forgot about that. But so that should be a drink. 9-4-0 in second place. Taking on the fantasy football is over team here. 3-8-2 and 15th. Who do you got here?
Well, Derek is over, uh, and I think he's selling after this week, after he takes a loss from Dan. And we'll see. The vultures are starting to circle, and I think next week we're gonna have some trades to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's gonna happen. I think Derek's gonna be the first domino to fall here.
You might even
Wait,
have seen trades already on the show had we done it on a normal day. We're doing it on a rare occasion on a Monday where there's nothing happened so far in the week. You know,
yeah,
if this was Wednesday, there's gonna be trades by Wednesday. I think like
yeah.
someone's gonna make an overpay offer, and one of those guys will be like, I'm gonna take this.
Well, I mean the pickings have been really, really slim, and there's people with a lot of picks out there right now. So I think it's a really good time to sell. And but the league is in a very awkward position where you have six teams who are 1 point out of eighth place. But Derek isn't in that position. Derek is playing a tough team, you know, uh, and he's probably gonna fall back a bit more this week. Might as well start selling, But I mean, Derek has to make that decision. Maybe he pulls off an upset and he's like, you know what, I'm not out of this thing yet. But it's definitely a big uphill climb for Derek. Do I think he can do it? Yes, but do I think he will? No. I think the climb back into a playoff spot is too steep now, and I think he's probably better off selling sooner rather than later, while people have those big, juicy six rounders left.
I'd like to point out too that just because you sell now doesn't mean you can't get right back into it if you make the right deals. If you get a good return, you could easily turn that into a better roster than you have, right? Sometimes the biggest player isn't the best part of the deal. Look at Travis's team. He moved his biggest ticket items and is a more stable team because of it, right? So it might be another way to look at the approach to it. But for the record, I'm going to go with Dan as well. Um, I just think Dan's team is better. He's in second place for a reason. Do I think Derek could win this week? Yeah, I do think he could win this week. Um, but I'm gonna go with Dan. I think he's just a safer bet.
Definitely.
Well, that takes up pretty much all our time. We almost ran the whole time again. I'm glad it's not two parts though. We're getting into it's because this is the only trades we have to talk about are the one round upgrades, and we're not going to even bother talking about that. But
No. I think next week's gonna be a two-parter.
I think so. There's going to be some deals made by between today and when we actually get to next week's show, um, for sure. Well, thanks for joining me, Kyle.
My pleasure.
GM of Team Rocket and owner of the Caucasaurus. Um, there's a reason he wanted to hold it once at least.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
His gift to the league here. Um, it looks like it's going right back to Braden. You guys are just like passing it back and forth.
Yeah, we're Caucasaurus buddies, but hopefully this is the last time I hold it for a very, very, very long time. I wouldn't mind seeing you with it actually, but I just don't
Come
see that
on.
happening. Your keeper base is way too strong.
Maybe in 10 years when my players age out.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
like, because I'm not gonna hold on to them when they're too old to move them like some GMs. I'll move them before they expire. Um,
Yeah,
best
yeah,
before date.
that's it. Where
That's
where people are like, is this guy even worth a 10th rounder? Is he even worth an 18th? I don't know. Like, I can pick this guy up on the waiver wire.
shots fired there, Sean. Hold on to Ovi for way too long. Everyone, good luck this week. Except for you, Sean. Next week you are gonna be Shane's bitch. It's gonna feel so nice.
Best luck to you this week, Sean. I hope you make Shane your bitch. We would hate to have this annual tradition ruined.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.